I'm Bradley Franks. I'm a professorial lecturer in the Department of Psychological and Behavioural Science. Over the last year or 18 months, we've all obviously been through a huge number of changes due to the pandemic. And for us, as a teaching department and as a research department, we've had to face lots of different kinds of challenge. We've begun to rethink the way in which we connect our lectures to the things we expect our students to learn, the learning outcomes from those lectures. And we tried to tighten up the connections in a way in which we'd never done before. In terms of the way in which we teach our classes and seminars, that has been challenging. The ways in which students interact with each other at the start of classes, at the end of classes, and even during classes is vitally important because learning is a social practice. Our learning is scaffolded by those around us. So what we've done is try to build in some of these implicit learning outcomes in a more explicit way, trying to take a step back and say, well, what do we expect students to learn from each other in these implicit ways? And can we replicate them either in the classroom or online? It's led us to reconsider the way in which we use information technology and the way in which we use, in particular, the school's virtual learning environment, the Moodle system. And now we think about it far more as a place where students view as their virtual classroom. And they come on there to learn, to interact with each other, to interact with us, and to build their learning in an incremental fashion each week. So Moodle becomes almost like an adjunct to a physical classroom. And we've learned a lot about the way in which we can do this over the last 18 months. And I hope we will take some of those things we've learned and use them more in the future as well. In the last 18 months or so, I think that one of the important positive side effects of the pandemic is to build a greater sense of academic community amongst all of us who are trying to improve the education of our students. And that academic community extends also to the Eden Centre, who are guiding us, and gentle nudges towards how to make things better, how to ensure that we are developing the ways in which we're teaching, using the best of the available technology, and also trying to find ways of ensuring that not just the academic content is being dispensed, but also the human side of education is still being maintained. We've had regular meetings in our department with members of the Eden Centre who've been a wonderful resource to us, wonderful supportive resource in suggesting alternatives, suggesting different ways of doing things, ways in which we can be more flexible and more creative in our approach. Your teaching is never a finished product. Your teaching is always a process, and it's changeable, and it should be changeable, and we should be responsive to. What the pandemic has suggested to me is that we can make small but important changes on the basis of short-term feedback whilst the course is running, and work with them to improve what we're doing as the year unfolds. So there's a sense in which the pandemic has given us a great opportunity to be more attuned to the kinds of things we want our students to learn. It's been a great challenge, but a great opportunity.